Do aspects, tenses, and voice confuse your learning in English? Worry no more. We have your back. English has never been easy with your learning squad. Propelled by the core values of excellence, integrity, innovation, service, and compassion. The ETUlay High School English program aims to support distance learning and to promote the attainment of communicative and cultural competence through fostering a learner-centered, child-friendly, gender-sensitive, globally aware, and encouraging remediation sessions following the most essential learning competencies. Here is your learning squad. For English 7, you have Mentor Tutor Trace from SDO Pasig and Menti Tutor Arnel from SDO Pasig. For English 8, you have Mentor Tutor Rubeline from SDO Lapu-Lapu City and Menti Tutor Joeth from SDO Butuan City. For English 9, you have Mentor Tutor Chester from SDO Batangas Province and Menti Tutor Ellie from SDO Camarines Sur. And for English 10, you have Mentor Tutor Juday from SDO Lapu-Lapu City and Menti Tutor Remem from SDO Lapu-Lapu City. Truly, we are excited to begin another fun-filled school year with you. See you at ETUlay!
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communication Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hello, senior high school learners. Hello, Tutor Joyce.
Hello, Tutor Floy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Well, doing good as well. So let us ask our senior high school learners. Hello, I hope you guys are also doing great.
I know. So let's check some comments here, Tutor Joyce. We have John Christian Miko. Oh, hello there again, Anak. From San Francisco High School 11 Gas R. Ferios. We also have the early bird, Joseph Conrad Bulaklak. Hello, Anak, from Pasay City North High School. Who else, Tutor Joyce?
Yes, we also have Risha Lian Argoliano. Good afternoon po. Yes, from San Francisco High School, we have J. Marquilot also. Good afternoon. Benjamin Ballesteros. Go, 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 go Pisces. Let's shout out to 12 Pisces gas. Also have Maria Lensan from Socrates. From CBSAA. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Okay,
All
yes, Tutor
right.
Floyd, we still
Yes.
have more.
Yes, yes. And I'm sure we'll be greeting all, most, if not all of them later. So, welcome po to the second quarter, week 5 to be exact, of 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. Sa kaka-tune in lamang po, please make sure to hit your like and of course share this live stream or episode to your family and friends or your respective timeline. Live po tayo na napapanood sa DepEd EdTech Facebook unit page and YouTube channels, DepEd Philippines and Educational Technology Unit. So hello po, hello. This is our last
Hello.
session for this year, for December. So let's make the most out of it. Tama, Tutor Joyce?
Yes, yes. And because of that, in relation to that, let's make the most of it. Sabi nga ni Tutor Floyd, this week we have our own mini-me version of us. And in relation to what we are celebrating based on from the Republic Act to 8296 of June 6, 1997, an act of declaring every Sunday of December as the National Children's Broadcasting Day, which
All
is
right.
from December 13 to 17. Tama po ba, Tutor Floy?
I know it is true. And ang ganda, no? Kasi even if it's just one day, yung National Children's Broadcasting Day, na-extend siya for a week from December 13, that's yesterday, until this coming Friday. So wow, ganun ka generous yung DepEd para talaga i-celebrate ng todo yung very meaningful event like this one. And apart from that, Shooter Joyce and our viewers, if parang feeling nyo, ay parang di ko pa masyadong ramdam yung Christmas. Well, this is another event that is something to look forward. This coming December 22, 4 p.m., an hour of celebration of ETUlay talent. So, Himig ng Pasko, itulay natin to year-end cantata virtual concert. So, if you wanted to sing along with us and the rest of the presenters, and para feel na talaga na Christmas, please join us on the 22nd of this one. So, hello, and sali po kayo. Yitas. Tutor Joy, sino tong sunod? Oh my gosh, these are
Yeah.
new faces.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Talaga naman, Tutor Floor, they are really very enthusiastic to post and the work on their output of the week. So we have John Oliver Lopez. We also have Maria Ariane Elialos and Lu Ching Martin. Thank you so much, guys, for very active posting and participating and, of course, interacting to our sessions.
All
Okay?
right. So, wow, thank you, Cheater Joyce. At dahil sa sinabi natin kanina, Cheater Joyce, at mga viewers natin, remember, meron kami mga mini-me. Akala namin yung
Mm-hmm.
mga elementary students lang or teachers merong mini-me rather. Pati din pala kami, senior high school tutors. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce two of our guest tutors today. Yung ika nga mini-me namin ni Tutor Joyce. So, yung una Tutor Joyce, she's an active classroom officer, president, ARPAN Club president, at naging ano din siya, not just for a year, but for 2 to 3 years. And she's currently the internal vice president of the Linguistic Society of Angeles City Science High School. At the same time, president siya, wow, classroom president pa, at grade 11 chairperson sa Supreme Student Government ng Aksay. Without further ado, we have Shooter Yvonne, my mini-me.
Yes.
Yes, hello. So,
Hello,
yan. Hi,
hello.
Shooter Yvonne.
Pleasant afternoon po to everyone, especially to
Ah,
our dear viewers po. I am very
ah.
thrilled to be here today po.
Thank
Yan.
you also for joining us at napaunlakan mo yung invitation namin. Dapat ata nag-glasses din ako para talagang mini-ming
Mini me.
mini-me.
Okay.
Okay. So next one naman, apart from Yvonne, we have someone yung mini-me mo, Tutor Joyce.
Yes.
She is one of the most active JJG officer of the Girl Scout of the Philippines in Quezon City. She has become a GAD Club president for 2 consecutive years. San
Mm-hmm.
Francisco High School GSP overall patrol leader, grade 10 assembly officer, business manager, and class president. Oh my gosh, talagang bigatin yung mga mini-me's natin, no? So, without further ado, we have our second guest tutor. We have Tutor Alex. So, Tutor Alex, hello.
Hello everyone, it's nice to be here with you. I hope you stay tuned because we prepared a fun and excitement lesson for you all.
How
Ah,
adorable.
okay.
These two are really adorable, right, Tutor Joyce?
Yes. And
Yes.
so, to continue, ayan na, talagang excited na tayo. But before that, let us have first a recap. Tutor Floy, I know our
Ay.
students have learned so many things from your session last week, no?
Ooh.
No, and can you share some insights or just a few
Ah.
recap from the lesson last
All
time? Go ahead,
right.
Tutor Floy.
Alright. Sa mga di naka-join last time, yung na-miss po natin, pero don't worry, pwede po tayong team replay. We are able to discuss the second part of creative literary adaptation with a special focus on using our ICT skills and, of course, using multimedia presentation for our digital stories. Kaso, parang pagkakalam ko, may utang ako sa kanila today and sana magawa ko yun mamaya. Ano nga ulit yun, Tutor Alex? What was that something that I promised our viewers last time?
Teacher Floyd promised us that we will have a walkthrough video of her digital story or Digi story.
Okay, so there you go. So let's have that at the latter part of the discussion para hindi kami parang yung promises namin di napapako. Energy na energy, Tutor Joyce, no? Syempre,
Go,
last
go.
session natin to this year. Now,
Yes.
speaking of last session, ito po yung topic per session po natin and we're already on our 5th week and we'll be talking about self and peer assessment of literary text and their creative adaptation. So more on types of adaptation po tayo ngayon and getting to know, or parang hinay-hinay nating i-immerse ourselves in known literary adaptations. And finally, our milk. Ano kaya yung milk, Shooter Yvonne? So can you help us understand what the milk is today? So go ahead.
Our most essential learning competency for today, or MELCS as we call it, is to perform a self and peer assessment of a creative adaptation of a literary text. With this, I am very excited to learn more about our topics for today.
All right. Thank you,
Right.
thank you. So, Tutor Joyce, meron pa. Syempre, it's
Yes.
good. Being specific is terrific. So, let's talk about the lesson objectives.
Of course, this session will not be complete talaga naman without this lesson objective. So, our lesson objectives, can we hear from Tutor Alex? Go ahead, Tutor Alex.
So our lesson objectives for the day are: first, recall the concept of literary text adaptation. The second one,
All right, let's check.
identify the types of creative adaptations of a literary text. And the last one, appreciate the importance of peer and self-assessment.
Ayan. So later on, we will really learn the significance of these literary text adaptation. Ayan, abang-abang lang po.
All
Okay,
right.
moving on to the next.
Yes.
Yes, Tutor
Okay.
Floyd, go ahead.
Yes, syempre, hindi magiging complete yung session natin without getting to know our literature concept of the week, which is the word assessment. And I believe in the previous quarter, we're able to define this one. Pero right now, we're going to redefine it with the help of our mini-me's. And let's begin with defining what assessment is. Go ahead, Tutor Yvonne.
Let me give the definition of assessment. Assessment refers to the wide array of methods or tools that educators use to evaluate, measure, and document students' performance. In addition to this, Tutor Floyd, this provides help to instructors to evaluate students' knowledge and makes decisions to improve their learning experience.
Wow, that sounds
Yeah.
amazing. And I hope
Mm,
not just in our online or live tutorials we're able to do that, but we're able to do that in our respective schools. I'm sure their English teachers are so adept in doing that or guiding your fellow learners in producing such or performing such. Now, we have not really similar, but parang kung ano pa neighborhood, parang neighbor concept natin. When are we going to assess? So, in the realm of 21st century literature, we are going to assess not just existing literary canons or literary works per continent, we're also able to assess or evaluate literary text adaptation or kung baga these are the literary sources na hindi talaga siya yung original form. Like, merong original form, tas inadapt nila yung original form, nagkakaroon ng bagong genre or medium. So, let's say, book to film, or short story to stage play, poem to video games. Even the story, ito yung nakakatuwa, nakita ko lang kanina, meron palang wrestling version ng Cinderella. So, from fairy tale na famous, naging wrestling. Also, you see how beautiful literary text adaptation is? Parang ang daming possibilities out there. In fact, Tutor Joyce, rinig
yes.
ko, maraming in store sa atin. Ano kaya yun, Tutor Joyce?
And that is what really this lesson is all about, Tutor Floy. Ito yung self and peer assessment of a created adaptation of a literary text. Ayan. Well, question muna, guys. Question to our guest for this afternoon, Tutor Floy. So,
Yeah.
how do you assess your own work? Sige nga. So let's hear from Tutor Alex. Yes, Tutor Alex?
So first, I plan ahead of time to have a
Mm.
basis or to have a abstract for my works to be organized, and also I identify my strength and weaknesses of my work so that I'll be able to emphasize what is the importance one, and highlight the stories more, and also be honest with my review because that is all about, right? So that's for me.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Tutor Alex. So, how about have you evaluated others' work? So, let's hear from Tutor Yvonne. Go ahead, Tutor Yvonne.
Indeed, Tutor Joyce. To evaluate others' people work, one should be honest and be polite at the same time. We can offer suggestions for how they might improve what they have produced in doing. However, we must be sensitive and considerate to their feelings as individuals as well.
Ayan. Okay, good job, guys. Well, how about the importance naman? Tutor Floyd, di ba? Pag sinabi natin importance, it's really a matter of parang really, parang may tanong din tayo, why do we need to study this importance? It's really important to our life, parang ganon. Is it just we have to learn it or apply it to ourselves? Okay, so let's
Yes.
start with,
Tutor
yes.
Joyce,
Mm-hmm.
napaisip tuloy ako, para bang ganito siya? Para kanino ka bumabangon? Ay, that's
Oo,
kape pala.
yun. Parang gano'n,
Hugot.
tutor, di ba? Yes. Okay, so to start with, yes, tutor Alex, go ahead.
So first, it enables you to better understand a text. Assessing the text will help us or you to understand the text way better. And also you can see your strength and improvement or progress that you've made. It was also a proofreading for you so that you will able to identify things that you needed to emphasize on your work and some of your original strategy.
Ayan, okay. Thank you so much, Tutor Alex. How about another one we have from Tutor Yvonne? Go ahead, Tutor Yvonne.
Another one of the importance is it provides opportunities to get to know the standards of creating a good literary adaptation. So, as mentioned, an adaptation is a transfer of a work of art from one style of or medium to another. These are important because they allow a writer's story to be told in a new form or way.
And lastly, tutor, yeah, yan, ako na ko na dyan. Well, actually, it paves the way for producing fresh, kumbaga, from another text, no? Exciting, maging exciting siya. Kasi bakit exciting? Another form ito eh, no? And innovative literary adaptation. Ayun.
Yes.
So,
So, may ibang flavor tayong nilalagay
yes.
sa
Mhm.
existing work. And then, Tutor Joyce, ang rinig ko, meron tayong konting pa Q&A ngayon at
Ay, oo.
parang, excited na ako sa mga keyboard warriors natin ngayon kung paano nila sasagutin.
Ayan. So, here are some examples, Tutor Floy. Ayan. So, examples of just some of the literary adaptation from Asia. Ayan. So, let's start with, can you guess? Sige nga, tingnan natin ang ating mga tutors, ngayon, And also to our viewers, ayan, sumagutin po kayo if you know the answer. So, let's start with, what country is the 1996 manga Hana Yori Dango from? Okay, so let's start with Tutor Alex. Oh, wait. Sige, sige. Sagot mo na si Tutor Alex.
So I
Pero,
believe
okay.
alright. So I believe the answer in this question is the country of the rising sun, which is Japan.
All
Oh, wait lang, Tutor
right.
Floy, tingnan natin kung tama rin sila sa ating comment section. Kindly write down your answers.
Oo, meron ng sagot si
Ayan,
Jessamay
tingnan.
Kempis, Andre
Ayun, no?
Patpat, Joseph Conrad,
Very good,
we
very
also
good.
have EJ, Von Jola, Joyce Marian, Angel Rose, and Althea Magkalas, and Kenneth. Wow, ang dami naman. Jericho John, Joyce
Uh-huh.
Marian. Good job, guys.
Good
Tingnan nga
job.
natin kung pareho ba talaga. Tamang-tama
Tingnan
ba yung
natin.
answer
Reveal na
natin?
natin. Wow! They are all correct, guys. Good
Yan.
job, good job.
Yes.
Okay. Next
So,
question, Tutor Floyd, go ahead.
all right. So the famous Meteor Garden series in 2001 is from what country? Jesus ko, Tutor Joyce, naalala ko pa to. Every
Hi.
4 p.m. ata or 5 p.m. bigla ng, oh
Yes.
baby, baby.
Eh,
Ganun-ganun ang hair to the max. Oh. Yun na kaya? Ano kaya yung lugar na to, Tutor Joyce?
Nagpa-long hair pa ako noon, Tutor
Ay,
Floyd, kasi nga,
talaga?
di ba? Nature Garden, idol. Okay, go ahead.
Nako. So,
Yes, Tutor Yvonne, what do you think is the answer?
This brings back memories to me, ma'am. So I know the answer to this is Taiwan.
Ayan, oh, hold
Taiwan.
on. Let us see the answers of our viewers. Ayan, ang daming sumagot, Tutor. Nakakatuwa. So we
Ah,
have
yes.
from Frenny Humbe, Taiwan, Jessame, J. Marquilot, Angel Rose Gazer, Althea, naku, ang dami, ang dami. And
Bianca Alzaga.
yes, and their answers are Taiwan. Good job, guys. Go,
Good
go.
job. Next
Okay, and
one.
next, the 2009 drama Boys Over Flower, parang wala na talaga tong ano, no, talagang yung Meteor Garden, tuloy-tuloy. Originated from, sige,
Nako,
tingnan
Tutor
natin.
Joyce, bigyan natin ng
Mhm.
clue. Yung ex ko na si
Oo.
Liben Ho, galing dito.
Ay,
Ex ko.
ex mo pala yun? Ako,
Oo,
di
sorry,
ko,
sorry
wala na.
viewers.
Saktan ako,
Nauna na ako. Linya muna tayo. Ay,
Okay, so let's ask Tutor Alex. Go ahead, Tutor Alex.
So I believe the answer is Korea, but let's
okay.
see what the
Let's
viewer.
see from, yeah. So, oh, ayan
Yes.
na. Sumagot na sila Kempis, Trisha, yes, Angel, Joseph, Mercy, and their answers are, ayan na, Tutor Floyd, go ahead. Yes, the
Yes,
same,
South
Korea.
Korea. South Korea.
Korea,
Wow.
yeah.
There you
Okay.
go. Next one. The 2018 drama Meteor Garden originated in China, while the 2021 adaptation called F4 Blank is from which area or country? Ano kaya yun? So, all over Asia talaga, no? Talaga sagad na sagad yung, oh, baby, baby. Alin kaya to? Bigyan ko kayo ng clue. Tama ba yung clue ko? Sawadee Tama ba?
Para, yun, tama, go, go,
Oo.
go.
Diyos ka. Tingnan natin.
Yes.
Alright. So, I'm seeing three na yung sumagot na medyo tama or dalawa. So,
Ayan.
let's have a reveal. Tutor Yvonne, ano kaya yung sagot dito?
Sabi nga ni Ma'am Floy, sawadee ka. So I believe the answer to this is the land of the smiles or Thailand.
Yes, there you go.
Ayan,
So, F4
okay.
Thailand yun. Tama ba, Tutor Joyce?
Yes po. And good job. Talaga naman, great talaga. Galing-galing. Okay, husay. Okay, so let's move on.
So,
Ayan.
eto lang po, if you wanted to recall everything that we had, you can take a picture of this slide and then get to know alin yung galing dito na country and so on. So, good job, guys. And let's have Ronda Watts 2020 types of literary adaptation, Tutor Joyce.
Ayan, so we have actually 4 types of literary adaptation according to Ronda Watts. And to start, we have the museum adaptation. So to start, let's ask Tutor Alex to enlighten us about this adaptation. Go ahead, Tutor.
So
Tutor
the
Alex.
first types of the literary adaptation is the museum adaptation. So it preserves every possible image exactly how it exists in the book. So it's like the carbon copy of the literary text, and also it is literal copy every detail, plot, character, and the lines in the literary text. It was
Parang,
our original source, yes.
Okay,
ayan,
so
parang mini-me
now,
lang din, ano, Tutor?
oo. Totoo yan.
Okay.
And ang
Oo.
maganda dito, Tutor Yvonne, Tutor Alex, Tutor Joyce, yung museum adaptation kasi ginagawa to para i-preserve ng maayos at i-protect yung mga records, events, historical artifacts
Yes.
na meron. So, kung titignan natin mabuti, if galing sa libro tapos i-film, talagang ramdam natin na, ooh, it's exactly how it existed in the book. And na-transfer lang
Ayan.
sa ibang medium. Di ba? Tama ba?
Ayun. Correct, correct. And example natin dyan, Tutor Yvonne.
If there was ever a perfect example of museum adaptation, it is the 1995 TV miniseries of Pride and Prejudice. In adapting literary texts, in here it was based on the romantic novel by Jane Austen published in 3 volumes in 1813. This version includes nearly every scene from the book. Whenever I watch this adaptation, I feel like I'm visiting a museum.
Ay, wow. Oo, no.
Yeah.
Shooter Joyce, Shooter Ivan, Shooter Alex, yung tipong, if you're in a museum, oops, ang ganda, pero bawal touch.
Okay, no touch.
No, no
Okay.
touch, no
Hands
change.
off. Okay. So, and another one, we have the artful adaptation from the word art. Okay. So, can you enlighten us about this, Tutor Yvonne?
The artful adaptation it is concerned with finding balance between being true to its own and as a work of art. Artful adaptation finds the essential elements of the book and interprets them in ways that are meaningful for the audience. This type of adaptation is most concerned with finding balance between being true to its true source of material and creating a film that can stand on its own as a work of art.
Ayan. And examples are, tuloy mo po, Tutor Yvonne, go ahead.
Sure po. The original novel was published in installments. The Phantom of the Opera that is based on the 1910 French novel by Gaston Leroux. It is an adapted for film. It is one of the most famous art adaptation of the century for its balance between being true to its source material and a work that is shown also as a work of art.
All right.
That's
That's
good. And
great.
Tutor
Okay.
Joyce, and I'd also like to add, if i-use natin yung Pride and Prejudice na example kanina, kung
Mhm.
titingnan natin, merong adaptation na nung 2005.
Mhm.
Kaso, yung aesthetic niya grittier, warmer than the 1995 version. Ang ginawa nila, nagkaroon sila necessary cuts and kinocombine nila yung ibang plot points from the novel para i-fit siya sa 2-hour runtime sa film. So, you see? So, grabing effort na mangyayari pag merong artful adaptation. Tama ba?
Ayan,
Ay!
opo.
Meron pa
Yes.
pala isa. Naalala ko.
Go ahead,
Kakakita ko
Tutor
lang
Floy.
kanina sa Apple TV
Go.
para mas makarelate yung viewers natin. Yung yung time ni Emily Dickinson. So there are writers out there who are really looking at the biography of Emily Dickinson at talagang
Mm-mm.
sinusulat nila. Coming of age story siya ng woman at ang maganda dito, even Apple TV already has a series about it, yung Dickinson na series. So yung parang modern sensibility and tone, nakaka-relate tayo kahit old siya na ano. So, there's this aesthetic talaga or artful adaptation. Yun.
Ayan, okay.
Yes.
Very informative ang sinabi ni Tutor Floy. Okay, so moving on to another, the loose adaptation. Yes, go ahead, Tutor Alex.
So, when we say loose adaptation, it gives away it keeps a few elements or some semblance of the book premise. It is a lack of similarities in the literary text, or it is sometimes a failure to some viewers because, as I said earlier, is a lack of similarities. So here are the example of it. So Tutor Yvonne, take it away, please.
Yes, an example of this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe versus the Marvel Comics. As we know, in the Marvel Comics, some characters are adapted, but the plotline is not the same as the plot it has on the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, and by loose, flexible siya, pwedeng sobrang dagdagan, pwedeng sobrang bawasan.
Bawasan.
Kaya,
Yeah.
loose adaptation. And
And I think
finally,
it's for the cinematology, no, na talagang inaano ng mga filmmakers. Okay, and finally we have the transformative adaptation. Yes, Yvonne, go ahead.
The transformative adaptation highlights the timelessness and universality of the source's message and themes. So in here we focus mainly on the theme and highlights the message. In here we show a big change in the character, and most of these films set their source work in a time period other than in which they were written, oftenly in the contemporary era.
Ayan, yes. And of course, our example, ayun na yung pinakasikat na Cinderella. Okay, yes, Tutor Alex.
So, Cinderella or the Little Glass Slipper is based on a French tale by Charles Perrault. So, we all know that Cinderella is very enjoyable movie and it's suit for every people or in any age, children, children at heart, senior citizen, or any other kind. So, it also a click in any culture or race because of its theme and message for everyone.
All right. So I'd like to add one more thing, Jan, Tutor
Oh,
Joyce, and Tutor Alex, and of course, Tutor Yvonne. Kasi we all know na it all started with Cinderella, yung tipong, once upon a time, there's a beautiful downtrodden girl with an evil stepmother. The fairy grandmother granted Cinderella's wish to go to a ball. At the stroke of midnight, she lost her glass slipper, but the prince found it. And when he finally found Cinderella, they fell in love and lived happily ever
ever
after.
after.
Yep, we know
Yun
the
na ending.
story. But
Yeah.
when it comes to transformative adaptation, merong iba't ibang version nun. Let's say, meron pa rin beautiful downtrodden girl, which is Cinderella, my stepmother pa rin. Pero instead of having a fairy godmother, merong ibang area, fini-feature nila magical fishbone na nag-grant ng wish para maka-attend si Cinderella sa New Year's Festival at na-lose niya yung teeny tiny golden shoe niya. And ang nakakatuwa, instead of prince, yung king yung nakahanap
Wow.
sa shoe na yon, they fell in love. And then the evil
Oh.
stepmother, sadly, was crushed to death by stones in a cave. Meron ding
Oh.
ibang version nun, yung tatanong natakot ako. Alam niyo yung pinuputol ng stepsisters and even stepmother ni Cinderella yung portion ng paa nila para magkasya talaga sa shoe.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I heard
that
that. I
was so
heard it. Yeah, I read that
scary.
also. Okay.
Diba? Sus
Kaya nga
ko.
siguro Tutor Floyd talagang ina nila sa nung in-adapt nila for for film talagang iniba na nila yung version no para hindi
Yes,
masyado
yes.
scary
True,
for the
true.
children. Okay.
Hi, okay.
Ayan.
So this time,
Ayan na yung
yung
promise ni Tutor
pre-numbers
Floyd.
namin. So here's a walkthrough video on how I attempted to create a digital story. Um, I'll be using two types of application. I'll be using Canva and Filmora, and let's see how it works. So, pakita ko lang yung how I did it, and then yep, a little voiceover. So here you go. I hope you can see it. So I went to the canva.com website, and then as I went through that, of course I have to log in. I won't show my credentials anymore.
Okay.
And then I'm going to create a design. Remember the steps that we had na pwede nating we can go from one step to the next. So I'll just create this specific parang kung painting pa may canvas ako. So I'm going to have a choose poster, landscape. Dito ko sisimulan yung ideas ko. What do I have in mind for my digital story? So this is where the planning or ideation stage happens. So I'm going to create maybe insert some elements like a rectangle or a text box, and then dun ko ilalagay yung mga illustrations or maybe lines. Let's see. So, yep, I'm creating a lot kasi pinapakita yung sequence ng story. So yung
Mhm.
plan ko, combining the different character entries of our reading month celebration. Yun yung recently concluded one. So around 6 ata gagamitin ko dito. We'll see. Nako, nako. Ayan.
Ayan.
So empty lang siya at first, pero trust me, you can fill those with lots of ideas in time. So
Information.
ayan.
Yeah.
Yan, Tutor Joyce. Diyos ko. Tutor
Galing.
Joyce,
Oo.
excited na ako sa mga viewers natin next meeting. Sila
Ay,
naman
naku,
yung
magagaling din yung mga
makita.
yan, Tutor Floyd, no? Pagdating sa
Yes.
mga computer and apps that they're using, ay talaga naman yung ating mga
Yes.
21st century learners talaga namang
I
Magaling talaga sa
know.
pagdating sa ganyan.
So, Tutor Joyce, nung
Okay.
nagkaroon kami ng Healing Month celebration, I'm sure everyone experienced that. Yung isa sa mga entries na tumatak sa akin yung story ni Dorothy. So let's just say I wanted to really have that setting introduced na nasa my barn na area, and then after nun, I look for a girl, any image of a girl, and then I'm going to, let's say, kakagising lang niya, feel niya yung nature and all. Yup.
Yeah.
So after ng setting, gusto ko i-feature si Dorothy. And then after nun,
Yan.
syempre, parang gusto ko mag-transition tutor Joyce at Yvonne
Mm-mm.
and Alex. Gusto ko yung next na introduce kong entry would be on the evil stepmother, or
Yeah.
yeah, the stepmother of Snow White.
Cinderella, Snow
Lalagay
White.
ko.
Okay.
As in tutor
Go.
Joyce, sabi ko gusto ko yung malditang maldita, yung itsura niya.
Ayan, yan, yan, yan,
So,
yan.
I found
Okay.
one there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
then, syempre parang feeling ko, ay parang di masyadong emphasize yung facial expression niya. So, I tried maximizing it, tried to adjust its dimension until ma-fit siya sa frame. So, I had to do a little cropping
ayun.
along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after nun, naisip ko parang gusto ko din ma-feature yung symbolic apple na
Yeah, the
yeah,
apple.
di ba? Tutor
Oh.
Joyce, parang gusto ko mag-grocery mamaya dahil dito. Kaso, na-realize ko, ay parang wait, gusto ko i-introduce ko muna yung Apple before ko ipakita yung Evil Queen para bonggang-bongga yung parang, ang tawag nito, surprising effect na parang
Mm-mm.
mag-roll yung,
Yung
mag-roll yung, ano tawag din, yung Apple. That's what I
apple.
like. So, there.
Okay.
Yan. So, wala pang animation tayong nilagay dyan. But we can already start animating. So, yan. I am trying to choose which one works well. Pero, mas gusto ko sana yung nag-roll siya papunta sa left or sa right.
Mm-mm.
And then, if I'll try to duplicate the ones that I have and do a little rearranging. And that happens in real life when you're creating your story. You're open to changes. Yun talaga. You have to
Yes.
welcome those changes. At syempre, Tutor Joyce, na-realize ko, na-visualize ko na. I think it's about time that I create maybe some captions or spills or voice overs na pwede kong i-insert. So, tingnan natin. Ayan.
Ayan.
Ayan. So, syempre,
Okay.
yung setting, there, I'll add some
Mm-hmm.
text. Okay. Outdoor setting. A barn, maybe.
Ayan.
Tingnan natin. Alright. Aha.
Okay.
And then, after nun,
Ah.
I'll describe or narrate about Dorothy, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
add some lines na sinasabing
For
Dorothy. Pero mas gusto
Dorothy.
ko, i-narrate ko muna. So, there. Tingnan natin.
Okay.
Wow, absensya na, no? Ang
Outside
bagal
here.
mag-type. So, at least, nakikita sila na it's not something that you do in a snap. You have to really plan and go
Mm-mm.
through the process and be as patient as possible. And then, so there, she ran outside her home to welcome another day. And then, I'll transition to another app, which is Filmora.
From
So,
Filmora.
nag-gather ko na, nag-screen record na ako sa lahat ng mga possible entries. So, here's my timeline. I drag the video there, and then I'm going to omit some portions na feeling ko hindi naman magagamit ko. So, yung very famous scissor icon, we can use that to split some scenes in your digital story. So, di-delete ko na yan. Delete. Oh, there you
Ayan.
go. Wow. And then,
Wow.
finally, ang maganda dito, you can do that or you can make as much
Ayan na.
changes. Ayan na. So,
Ayan na, ayan
nag-emote
na.
na si Dorothy. So, nagsasalita na siya after niya tumakbo-takbo sa, ganyan na. And eventually, there's also
Field.
an audio. Kaso, I believe the audio is turned off here. Naririnig ba? Ayan.
Ayan na, ayan na, ayan na. Go.
There. So, there you have it. I was able to choose a specific track. Gagawin ko siyang background music. And then, I'll have to lock the video portion para pwede kong i-trim yung audio. And then, I can unlock it anytime I'm ready. May fade in, fade out option para hindi bigla yung pag-appear ng audio. And eventually, I'm going to render it for a smooth playback. And once I'm done, flash forward, we can now export the file. Tignan natin. Just hit export. Then, of course, choose from the different extensions over there, yung na-discuss natin last week, MP4 gusto natin, and then rename the file. So it's reading month culmination or celebration, let's see, or maybe digital storytelling or digital story lang, and then hit export. Okay. And there. So, ang naganda dito, Tutor Choice, pwede tayong mag-export diretso sa YouTube and other
Yeah.
online
Mm,
apps.
mm, mm,
And find
mm.
target. Tingnan natin kung saan siya. Yan, nakasave din
Ayan
siya
na.
sa local
Okay.
drive ko. Ready for viewing. So,
Viewing.
there. So, for those guys who are able to create their own digital stories, please, please, please feel free to uh, send in your entry. So, Tutor Joy, Tutor Alex, Tutor Yvonne, we'll have a quick assessment, just three simple questions. Three lang, konti lang
Oo.
to. Para ma-review lang natin lahat ng na-discuss natin today. So, very simple instructions. Select the letter of the best answer. Let's have the first question, Tutor Joyce.
Yes, but before that, I would like to say, wow, napaka-techy talaga ng ating tutor Floyd, 'di ba? Okay, thank you so much for very
Thank you.
informative, at we really learn, hindi lang siguro yung mga viewers, pati kami ng mga nandito mga tutors. Thank you so much, Tutor Floyd. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Okay, so number one, let's have a assessment time refers to the wide array of methods or tools that educators use to evaluate, measure, and document students' performance. Ano kaya ito? Is it letter A, assessment, B, creative adaptation, C, literary adaptation, or D, literary text? So let's hear from, sino mauna? Viewers ba
Tutor.
muna o ang mga tutors natin?
Magkasabay na.
Sige, sabay na. Go ahead. Let's have Alex. Tutor Alex, go ahead. What is
So
his
for me, the
answer?
answer is letter A, assessment.
Letter
Okay, letter
A.
A. Ayan, tingnan
Tingnan
natin ang ating mga
natin.
viewers. Si Von nag-answer letter A, si John Miko, and A, and yeah, si Andre.
Andre.
Congratulations. Good luck.
First
Good
shot.
job. Okay,
Galing.
next.
Next one.
Tutor Floyd, go ahead.
It is the adaptation of a literary source, like a novel, short story, poem, to another genre or medium like film, stage play, or video game. Same set of choices, you guys. So, pili po tayo. Literary text, peer assessment, self-assessment, or literary adaptation. So, which is which? Just the letter of your answer. Tingnan natin if there are answers coming in. So, Jayan,
Ayan.
Jomelyn are already starting
Yes.
to answer.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. Tutor
Ayan.
Yvonne, ano yung sagot mo?
Tutor Floy, I think it's D, literary adaptation.
Tingnan natin, pagkakaalam ko, ako yung nag-discuss sa part na to eh. Ah? And then the answer is
Yes.
indeed letter D. Very good, you
Congratulations. Good job.
guys. Good job. Last item po.
Yes, we have. Number three, it is concerned with finding balance between being true to its own and as a work of art. Ito, we have, is it artful adaptation? Is it a loose adaptation, self-assessment, or literary adaptation? Ayan, mga sumasagot sila. Kitang-kita ko yung kanilang
Yes.
mga answers sa chat space. Yes, anyone from our guest this afternoon, ano kaya ang sagot natin?
Sabay tayo, Tutor Alex,
Sabay.
Tutor Yvonne.
Okay.
What's
Again,
the
the correct
letter of your
answer
answer?
is tadadadadadadad. We have letter
Letter
ano na?
B,
Okay, letter B, artful
full
adaptation.
adaptation.
Ayan. So
Yes.
we have,
Yan.
okay, so moving
Alright.
on.
A siya dapat, hindi letter B. Na paano ba to? Parang naglalaro yung PowerPoint natin ngayon na.
Oo nga, no?
Letter A dapat.
Letter
Nako.
A. Letter A. Oh, so kaya pala
Yes.
tama yung ating mga viewers.
Tama yung
Okay, well,
mali yung letter. Naku po.
letter lang. Okay, so let's, again, congratulations. Good job,
Yes.
guys.
Good job. And then, quick lesson recap lang tayo. Tutor Alex, alin nga ulit or what are the different levels of adaptation for
So
creative
there are four
literary
types.
text?
So there are four types of level of adaptation or literary adaptation. We have first museum adaptation, second one artful adaptation, the third one loose adaptation, and the fourth one transformative adaptation.
And we
So
also have another, which is ano yung parang best way to evaluate and to really make sure na gets natin yung isang literary text or adaptation niya. So, anong maganda nating gawin, Cheater Yvonne?
Ayan po. In creating our literary adaptation, we must remember that it is important to assess our work. We must first start to assess ourselves to know how we did and continue to seek advice from others to constantly ask for improvement. And then after that, we can do peer assessment na po.
All right. And always remember then na when we try to adapt any literary text, we always have to seek approval from the source or the authors of the primary source na text. Okay? And Tutor Joyce, eto din pala, nakakalimutan ko to i-flash last time. So, see you on the 6th, 7th, and 8th week of 21st Century Lit next year. So, just tune in kasi Asian and African literary text naman yung pag-uusapan natin. And Tutor Joyce?
Of course. So our inspiring quote this week na bago tayo maghiwa-hiwalay for the next year to see you guys. Never judge a book by its movie, written by Jennifer Egan. Ayan. So ano kayang any insights guys from our tutor? Sige, mga one sentence lang. Go ahead, Tutor Yvonne.
Ayan po. Personally, I prefer books over movies for the in-depth details and scenes that a book has but the movie does not show. So I do agree po with Jennifer Egan that you should never judge a book by its movie.
Okay. And Tutor Alex?
And of course, I will just add Tutor Yvonne. All movies are never good as the book. So, yes, never judge a book by its movie.
All right.
Okay, so let us not judge any book, but instead, let's open and read, use our imagination, appreciate and learn from it. Okay, Tutor Floyd, that's it?
All right, so that's about it, you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page and the YouTube channels Educational Technology Unit and DepEd Philippines to revisit and share this episode and the previous episodes that we had. Once again, this is Tutor Floyd.
And I am Tutor Joyce.
And of course, our mini-me's.
Go ahead,
Tutor
guys.
Alex.
And Tutor Yvonne.
Yep, your virtual mentors for our 21st Century Lit session every Tuesday from 4 to 4:40 p.m. Have fun in exploring the different concepts and texts in your weekly habit. Tutor Joyce here at saan nga ulit, Tutor Joyce?
Here at the 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the world. So
Yep, thank you, and make sure to tune in to the next class, Reading and Writing with Tutors Jess and Zen, and Creative Writing with Tutors Kit and Jerry. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next year. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you,
Bye.
Tutor Floyd, Tutor Yvonne, and Tutor Joyce. Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!